And it is time to get started. Hey, I am Coach James. I am welcoming you to At The Track Live. I am the creator and lead instructor for All About Aerodynamics. You might be asking yourself, what is All About Aerodynamics? Glad you asked, even if you didn't ask. All About Aerodynamics is a science program where I use Hot Wheels cars to teach kindergarten through 6th grade students about a range of science and physics-related topics, including, but not limited to, friction, force, aerodynamics, drag, lift, Isaac Newton and his 3 laws of motion, kinetic energy, potential energy, elastic force, a whole range of science topics. After we have covered all the science topics and conducted experiments to drive home those concepts, then and only then do I bring in about 400 different Hot Wheels cars, and each student has the opportunity to select a Hot Wheels car they think would be fastest in a series of races based on everything they've learned in the course. After they've selected their cars, they weigh their cars, they test the speed of their cars, they check the year the car was manufactured, the materials the car is made from. They collect all of the information that they can observe, put that into a spreadsheet, and then the only thing left to do, they set up a 1/64th scale quarter-mile drag strip, and we have a tournament and race the cars, and they observe how their cars perform. Did their cars perform up to or below their expectations? And if they had the opportunity, would they select that car again, or would they make a different choice based on everything that they have observed? In the end, we have fun with Hot Wheels cars, and we learn science. What could be better? If you would like more information about our science program, All About Aerodynamics, all you have to do is go to our website, aaAerodynamics.com, or you can follow us on Instagram, aaAerodynamics. All the information you need is in the bio, and you can contact me to find out how to bring our program to your school or your organization or your special event. But this is not all about aerodynamics. This is All About Aerodynamics presents At The Track Live. So what is At The Track Live? Well, before I can bring in those 400 cars for the students to use, I have to make sure that I have them cataloged and organized so that I know that the cars that I'm taking for the students to use are the same cars I'm bringing back, and I'm putting them in exactly the right place so they're ready to go for the next group. But doing that, getting those cars organized was a little boring. I had to just sit there with a pile of Hot Wheels cars, put something on TV, and just kind of crack them open, take a picture, take a video, log them into the spreadsheet, and it was boring. So I came up with the idea for At The Track Live, which gives me a schedule, a definite schedule, every Saturday, 11 a.m., get up here and introduce new cars into the fleet. I go into storage, grab some cars, bring them out, crack those open, get my picture, get my video, do a little review, and then, since the track is already set up, we have a little tournament. Race those cars, see which one of the new cars is the fastest. But wait, there's more. You have the opportunity to participate. All you have to do is go to AtTheTrack.live, and you're going to have 3 options. You're going to have the YouTube stream link, the Twitch stream link, which you don't need because you're already watching or you're watching later. But the third option is the most important one. That is the one that says choose your car. When you select that option, you are taken to this page. And on this page, all of the cars that are currently in the All About Aerodynamics At The Track Live fleet are listed, cataloged, numbered, and ready for you to choose. What do you mean? Well, when you find the car that you think is faster than the cars that I have introduced and that other people have picked, all you have to do is find that car. You can click on it. Let's say pick another random number, 313. Let's go down, find car 313. It's this one, the Halloween A110 blue. Apparently I have one in a different color. But you can click on that. You can get a bigger picture. You can see from the reflection If it is a metal body on a plastic base, plastic body on a metal base, in some cases metal on metal. And if that's the car that you decide you want to go with, that's the car that's going to be faster than the other cars that we've picked. All you have to do is take the number, in this case 313, drop it in the chat. I will pull that car, and boom, that's it. You're entered into today's tournament, and you have the opportunity to compete against the other cars that I introduce. The other cars that have been picked, hey, Virgo, Roughshod, Christopher. Roughshod and Christopher have their cars locked in and ready to go. And anyone else who wants to jump in still has plenty of time, because I've got cars to introduce and some things to talk about. We're going to have some special races. But if you pick the car that wins the tournament, that beats out all the other cars, you get to take on our fastest in fleet car. And our fastest in fleet car is the car that's won the tournament the previous week. And our current fastest in fleet car is this one. It is the Super Stinger, which was selected by Neverending, another of his out-of-the-box picks that turned out to be pretty dominant as of last week. It took out the Batmobile, the Arkham Asylum Batmobile, and it is now our fastest in fleet car. The last, month or so, we've had a lot of turnover with our fastest in fleet cars. It was the Blitz Speeder for the longest time. Then we had that whole shakeup with the Dogfighter and the Slide Kick, and then back to the Blitz Speeder. The Blitz Speeder stayed on top for a while, and then boom, here came this Mercedes-Benz 500E, knocked it out, and became our champion. That car was champion for a week or so, and then here came the Batman Arkham Asylum Batmobile, knocked it out, took the title, and then Neverending found the Super Stinger, and the Super Stinger did away with the Batmobile. So we've had a lot of turnover, and so what that means is it's kind of a new situation. Cars that have previously raced have a chance to come back now because they're facing a different car. And yes, this car beat the Batmobile, which beat the Benz, which beat the Blitz Speeder. But does that necessarily mean that the Super Stinger is faster than all of those cars, or is it just faster than the Batmobile? I don't know, but we're going to find out. So I've got cars to introduce, and one of the things we're going to do is, a few weeks ago, we introduced into the fleet this car here, the Rockin Railer. This one. It's kind of this, it's this fantasy car, funny car, Hot Wheels. But what happened with this one is, when we went to start racing it, let me move some of these other cars out of the way. When we went to race it, we noticed that it had one of their classic kind of Hot Wheels gimmicks, which is these little tabs right there that you can see on the wheels. When they come around, they hit the engine. They hit a little tab connected to the engine. And essentially what happens is, I don't know if we have it. It makes when the tabs come around, it makes the engine rock back and forth, and thus it's the Rockin Railer. But we've had cars like this in the past. There's the Santa, I forget what it's called, but it's like a Santa sled, and he bounces back and forth. There's the Hot Wheeler, where it's like a werewolf thing, and the tabs make the mouth open and close. So on this one, the problem with these tabs is that every time they hit this little other tab on the engine, it's slowing down the car's forward momentum. You can think of it like the wheel at a carnival, or The Price is Right or something, where you're spinning the wheel, and every time there's a tab that hits the wheel or there's something that hits that tab, it's slowing the wheel down. So I had the idea, all right, let me find another Rockin Railer and do away with the tabs. So I picked one up yesterday, and I clipped off the tabs. So you can see right there the kind of stub but now that wheel just spins freely. And I did the same thing on the other side. So what we're going to do is we're going to race Rockin' Railer with the tab and Rockin' Railer without the tab and see which one actually is faster. It should be, my theory and my idea is that the I'll just call it now it's just the railer, because there is no more rocking, because the engine will not rock back and forth. So we've got the railer versus the Rockin' Railer, and whichever car comes out on top is going to be the car that ends up in the fleet. So we will have that race coming up. And then I was looking through a bag of just older cars that I had laying around. Well, actually, no. I have a case set aside with some of my old Hot Wheels cars that, for one reason or another, mostly because I played with them and the axles are all bent and they can't roll in a straight line anymore. But some of the cars are pretty cool, so I was taking a look at those and came across this one, which is the Steamroller. And this is very old school. Got the old school red line wheels. This car is, it's not in terrible condition. It's not in mint condition. I saw on eBay that one of these, this white one, in mint condition is going for $79.95. There's another one for $85. And then as the condition gets worse, the price comes down. I'm not looking to sell this anyway, but it's not in the best condition because you can see the paint is scraped in different places. But it's just another of the old cars that I had when I was a kid, but it can't really race. But the thing that's funny about this one is it goes to show how Hot Wheels used to be made. This car is all metal, metal on metal on metal. And the only parts that are plastic are the wheels. And this car weighs about 55 grams, which most of the Hot Wheels cars, the mainline Hot Wheels cars that we pull out, are usually between, on the low end, about 26 grams. On the high end, if we get a Hot Wheels car that's 40 grams, we're looking at it like, oh man, this is like just crazy. So this is just, I put it on the track just to see what it would do, and it barely made it to the finish line. It's just too heavy, and but there's a combination. It's heavy, and the wheels don't really spin as freely as they did, back in the day. And who knows? I'm sure I might have left this car outside. There might be rust, or who knows? Any number of things. But anyway, just a cool car. And then, like, even with the wheels are a little different. These wheels have like a little cap right there, so you can actually pop these. You can separate them. If you look at that back wheel, it's got that little cap, that little ridge right there. So that is a little different than the Hot Wheels that we see today. So just a little old school Hot Wheels car, just to take a look at. All right, we are going to be dealing with some new cars added to the fleet, and I pulled out a bunch out of storage, and this is the whole point. This is what I should be doing every week, is going further back into storage and pulling cars out. But then we need to see if we have them in the fleet already. So the first one I pulled out is this one, this Nissan Z Proto, which was new for 2022, which goes to show what the storage situation is. So let me just check the spreadsheet, see if we have one of those. Did I update the middle camera? The middle camera used to be this iPhone, and it just completely died. Doesn't turn on anything. So I need to take this to one of those stores that'll replace the battery, see if they can replace the battery to get that back on. So I forget what model this is. This may have been a 10 or so. I don't know. I don't remember. But the one that's replaced it is a few years older than that, but it works, and we can we'll get a good solid look at the track. Let's see. We have a Nissan 300ZX twin turbo, a Silvia, Skyline. All right, we're into the S's, so we don't have. Oh wait, no, it'd be Nissan Z Proto. No, we don't have one. All right, we got one. We've got one now. On the back, let's see what it says. Born in 2021 in Musa Shimurayama, Japan. The designer is Nissan, with a twin turbocharged V6 engine and its two-seat cockpit design. The Z Proto is a worthy tribute to Nissan's previous generations. So, if you want to try and pronounce, well, let's get this. It's not close enough, but anyway, Musa Shimurayama, Japan. All right, either way, Nissan Z Proto going into the fleet. Let's go. Right here. All right, we have. Oh, this car feels extremely light. Might be in the 20s. All right, checking the weight. The weight is 29.8. And let's go ahead and get a look here at the Nissan Z Proto. Lock this in. And I'll grab the video first. And even though it's a white car, white on white, I like what they did with the headlights, the little gold accents on the wheels. Not bad. I mean, a racing stripe or something would have, really kind of helped set it off, but not bad. And it looks like they did something with the tail lights there, so put a little effort into this one. This is going to be car number 962, the Nissan Z Proto. Yeah, this is one of those cars that I don't see anything wrong with it. The weight, it's pretty light, and I kind of have a feeling that it's going to end up kind of slowing down toward the back end of the track, which is what we tend to see with the lighter cars. But I don't really see anything problematic with it. So it might get the job done. It might just end up being the car to take on the Super Stinger, or it will just be another kind of average kind of mid car that just does okay and is a fine pick, but isn't necessarily going to be special on the track. So let's get this still picture. Drop this in focus. That would help. Turn it a bit. Right here. It's a good looking car. I'm surprised. Well, I won't be surprised if somewhere in the storage I have another one of these in a different color, because this would probably look good if it was maybe red. I think red would be a good look But hey, we're working with what we've got, and what we've got is the Nissan Z Proto, and that is the first car that is entered in this week, and we have more to come. So let's see, what else do we have? I had a bag of just loose cars and came across one in here that seemed to be, kind of looked like one that we didn't have. It looks like it doesn't have wheels because the wheels are green. There's a green screen. But this is the side draft. So I just need to check and see if we have a side draft. If we don't, then we will be on the way to having one. Oh, no, we do have a side draft. It's car number 175. So this one, let's see what it looks like. 175. This one's side draft. Okay. So we've already got one, and this one now will just end up in the prize bin, even though the wheels are different. And that's usually that's the thing that makes me keep a car, even when there are duplicates, is that the wheels are different. And on this one, it seems that the one that I'm holding, the wheels are bigger in the front and smaller. I'm smaller in the front, bigger in the back. The one in the picture, I would presume it's the same, just because it's the exact same car and same design, but it looks like those wheels are both the same size. I think we're gonna add in side draft with the green wheels, or maybe we should have a showdown and see which car gets to stay. But the wheels are different. This one's going in. I made an executive decision. It's going in. All right, let's go ahead and see what it weighs. The side draft coming in at 34.9 grams. And let's drop it in over here. Take a look. And we have the side draft. I like the, get that focus in. I like the colors on this one. That's something I wouldn't have considered. The lime green with the deep red, that burgundy. So here we go. We have the side draft ready to join the fleet, and I think we may end up having to have a side draft versus side draft showdown just to find out which of these cars is really going to be the one. Now, you know, I don't like to have duplicates, but sometimes if there is a significant difference, and usually the significant difference if cars are exactly the same are going to be the wheels. So let me go ahead and put the side draft in. The side draft is car number 963. And as I have mentioned before, we are on this kind of slow march towards 1,000 cars, and I am trying to figure out which car should be and will be the 1,000th car. That's a big number, and I want to try and find a car that something special, and I don't know what that should be. Right now I have really no idea, so I am taking all suggestions under consideration, and we'll see how it all turns out. I think we should hit 1,000 more or less sometime like the middle of January. Should be about when that happens. So we'll see. We'll see what car ends up being the one. I think that's part of the reason why I was looking at my older cars, because I thought, oh, that'd be cool to have like one of the old school cars be the 1000th car. But the ones that I actually have, it's the old school cars I have that can race are already in the fleet. So I'm going to have to find another one. All right, I pulled out this one. This Harley Quinn Gazella GT. Now I'm pretty sure we have, because we have the Gazella R, so I'm pretty sure we have a Gazella GT. In fact, I think somebody, maybe Roughshod, picked it. This is probably like a year ago. Let's see. And this is one of those ones that, you know, the character, they have the character cars. They have some character cars that are just brand new designs, and then they have other character cars that are just regular Hot Wheels cars that they put the character designs on. So let's see. Where are we at? It would be in that other case, but clearly, yeah, we have one. It is car number 428. The Gazella GT. Man, this is one of those situations. This is a cool car, and I would like to put it in the fleet. But we already have one. And you know, just putting another car in there because the design is cool is not really doesn't really serve a purpose, especially now as we work towards 1,000 cars. But let's go ahead and take a look, because if this one looks so much better than the other one, I might have to make an exception. So let's see. It's car number 428 is our existing Gazella GT. Yeah, this almost seems like it's destined to be the kind of just showdown and face-off. I'd mentioned this in the past that if you used to watch... Oh, okay, wait a minute. I mean, I'm not mad at this one. This copper and light blue Gazella GT, that one's staying. Sorry, Harley Quinn. But I like that. That is not... I was kind of hoping in my mind that the one we had in the fleet would be ugly, and then I would, be just, yeah, let's swap it out. And I was thinking, well, we could even have a showdown, but that one is just fine. Man. But what I was going to say is, I'd mentioned this in the past, that if you used to watch wrestling, pro wrestling back in the day, they had these loser leave town matches. So it'd be sort of the end of a feud, and it was a good guy and a bad guy, and they'd have a match like this. This territory is not big enough for the both of us, so they'd have this match, and it was loser leave town. So the person who lost the match had to leave, and they'd be gone for however long they were gone for. Sometimes they'd come back in a mask or do something different. But we've had a few of those loser leave the fleet matches, and I'm going to hang on to it. I'm not going to put this in the prize bin just yet, because I think we may have to set up just a straight loser leave the fleet series, and it would include this Gazella, and yeah, some of these other cars. There was an Audi Quattro that I pulled. But here's the thing. We don't have the Harley Quinn car. We don't have another Batmobile car, but we do have another Batman themed car, which is this one that I pulled out. This is the Selina Kyle car, and this is from the Batman movie. And this one is definitely, it has a look sort of like some other cars, but this is definitely one that they actually just designed the car. So it's not like a Gazella GT just with a Batman Catwoman theme. So let's crack this open. The Selina Kyle car. There's also a Riddler. Looks like a souped up G-Wagon. The Flash car. A Wonder Woman car. The Batmobile, that kind of muscle car Batmobile, which we definitely have in the fleet, and this Superman car, which is also in the fleet. I don't have this Wonder Woman car that has this kind of, I guess it's the magic lasso or something coming out of the front. It looks like a tongue, but I'm pretty sure it's the lasso. Anyway, Selina Kyle, let's crack this open, take a look. Hope these wheels are plastic. Yeah, they are. Okay, the Selina Kyle car. Check the year on this, 2021. What does it weigh? 33.5 grams. This one is nice. Okay, we're gonna take a look at this and check out the details on this. I hope the light hits it the right way. So it's got kind of a matte black paint job, which is pretty basic, but as it comes around, it turns out that matte black paint job is really kind of a dark gray, and then it's got these racing stripes on it that you can see there coming up the hood. And just grab this. Yeah, this is a pretty good looking car. The weight is right. Aerodynamically, it looks pretty solid. I think that of the cars we've got so far, I think that Nissan Z Proto, whatever, I think that is going to have, I think it's going to have an issue because of the weight. It's too light. That side draft, that could do something. That could do some damage, but I like this one. Now, I am looking at the back, and it's got that one little tailpipe sticking out, and it sticks out just across. You can see right there. It sticks out just beyond the bumper, and without that, this thing would be pressed up right against the launching block and get a great solid launch. With that thing on there, I'm not sure what kind of launch this car is going to get. Is it going to be consistent? Is it going to be good? I don't know. And I think that may be the thing that does it in, because you really do have to get a solid, a good solid launch. And that is if you get a bad launch, your car starts to wobble, especially when we get deeper into the tournament. You can't have those kind of mistakes. We've seen cars go up on two wheels, come back down on the track, but the time and the speed that they lose going up on two wheels and then coming back down, you're not going to beat a car that has stayed straight on the track. So this is the Selina Kyle car, and the year for this one was 2021, and it is now car number 964. Let me grab this still picture. I really like this this design, and it's interesting because sometimes with the character cars, they're pretty overt about making it special and unique to the character. This one doesn't have, there's no like cat ears sticking up. Now maybe that's what these little points are supposed to be, but they're pretty subtle, and I like that. So we have the Selina Kyle car. Oh, I guess it would help if I switched it over to the photos and then zoomed in. And now we can get our Selina Kyle car, and boom, there we go. All right, so we've got Selina Kyle, we've got the side draft, and we've got the Nissan Z Proto Z. Okay, we are moving right along. Now, let's see. What is next? What is next? So we had the Blitzbeater was our champion, and then the Blitzbeater lost to the BMW. I'm sorry, the BMW, the Mercedes-Benz 500e. Well, I was in the store when I was out of town. I was in a Target and had to go look and see, hey, do they have different cars at this Target than at my Targets? And I found one that was a little different, but I wasn't sure if it was the same as the one that beat the Batmobile. Because the one that beat the Blitzbeater was the Mercedes-Benz 500e. Well, I came across the 89 Mercedes-Benz 500 SEC AMG, part of their wild wide body selection. So I'm just going to check and make sure I don't have one of these, because it's very possible that I do. 1989, the number. Let's see. 89. Oh, turns out we do have one. Car number 622. So that wasn't too long ago. Let's check it out. Car 622. See what that's looking like. So many Hot Wheels cars. So many to choose from. 622. Oh, right here. Is that the same as this one? Yep, it is. Different wheels, though. I think, you know what? I'm going to have to set these cars aside. Like, we're going to have a special, like, maybe next week or something. It's just going to be the showdowns, because this one with the silver, I like this dark blue one. I like this dark blue one with the tan interior more than I like that one. And I just don't want to have duplicates, but if I can justify it some way, I will have to. But for right now, we will set this aside, this Mercedes 89 Benz 500 SEC AMG. We'll set that aside. There was another one earlier that I also found, but there we have a duplicate of this 84 Audi Sport Quattro. Let's see. Here's one that I know we don't already have. I'm trying to give these guys a shot. Another Matchbox pick. This time it is the 2004 Maserati MC12. Good looking car. But it's a Matchbox, and I don't know what it is about the Matchbox, but they just can't hang with the Hot Wheels car for whatever reason. Sometimes they'll win a race or two, but for a while it just doesn't work out. But this is a cool car right here, the Maserati MC12. So let's crack it open, see what we got. And weight. It's coming in at 30.8 grams, so not bad at all. That is a good kind of foundation. Everything about this car, other than the fact that it's a Matchbox, suggests that it should do well. I don't understand what it is about the Matchbox cars. It's got to be something. We've had enough races. We have enough evidence to know that something's up. There's some difference between the Matchbox cars and the Hot Wheels cars. There's something's going on. What it is, I don't know. But the Matchbox cars, even when they have great aerodynamic profiles, just don't seem to be able to hang with the Hot Wheels cars. And Mattel makes them both. So I don't know the reason The weight, it's not a weight situation, because we already checked the weight, and this car is not. It's not too heavy. It's not like the Matchbox cars are heavier, but there is a difference. There is absolutely 100% a difference. So we are going to enter this car in and see if maybe this is the one. This is the Matchbox car that's going to break through. You know, your guess is as good as mine, but I just can't figure out why the Matchbox cars aren't as fast. Car 965. This is the 2004 Maserati MC12. And look at the back end, perfectly flat. I mean, there couldn't be a more perfect back end. It's flat all across the back. It's got the wing right at the roof line. Aerodynamically, the profile, there's not a huge frontal area for the air to build up against as it moves down the track. It's got it all. There's no reason it shouldn't do well. So I'm actually, usually I don't particularly care which cars win or do well, but I'm pulling for this car. I want a Matchbox car to finally really do well. And let's take a closer look at that back end. That's perfect. I mean, usually if you have a wing, the wing will be sticking out a little further than the back end. But with this whole back end is flat and is going to be pressed up against the launching block, and it should get a really solid launch. Got the diffusers there. This car, come on, this has got to be the one. This has got to be the Matchbox car. Is it the one? It's got to be. Because I don't know what else to do, what else to say. So we've got this one, the Maserati MC12, and we'll find out if that is the car. Let me check the manufacturing year. The year is 2025. So come on, Matchbox. Maybe this is finally your time to shine. Maybe. We will find out. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? I pulled out a few others, and we are going to see if we have these in the fleet. So the first one is this Tesla Roadster, which I know there are Teslas in the fleet, but do we have this one, the Tesla Roadster? Yes, we do. Car number 701. So this is a prize car. Next up, the Koenigsegg Gemera. And I'm pretty sure we have one of these because I kind of remember trying to pronounce if it was Gemera or Gemera. Let's see. Koenigsegg. Yep, Koenigsegg Gemera, car number 799. So that was also a prize car. We have a 68 Dodge Dart. Very colorful. I have a feeling we have one of these as well. 68. Let's see. 68. Oh, no. We have a 68 Dodge Dart. It's car number 338. So that was quite a while ago. Let's see what it looks like. Car 338. 68 Dodge Dart. 338 would be 338. Oh, this one. Oh, okay. I like this Mopar. Oh, that's nice. I like that better than this kind of clown car multi-wheeled situation we've got here. So this one is going into the prize bin. Well, let's see. What else had I pulled out? We have another Matchbox, a 2021 Cadillac CT5-V, and 2021. Let me check and see. Do we have a 20? Nope, we don't have any cars that start off with the year 2021. So, Matchbox, we're giving you two opportunities to do some damage on the track. Right here, we have the 2021 Cadillac CT5-V. Let's crack it open. And these Matchbox cars are definitely, one thing I do notice about them that's different than the Hot Wheels cars is the proportions are more correct. Yes, they're 1/64 scale, but Hot Wheels cars tend to be a little wider, which kind of makes them look cooler, in my opinion. But they are not necessarily true to the actual dimensions of the real cars. So maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. But there's something. There's definitely a difference. All right, this Cadillac weighs in at 32.8 grams, and it is, put it up here on the turntable. Turn those labels. Here we go. Pop this off. And I will say this, though, about the Matchbox cars. They always have much more, the proper detail. You got the little Cadillac badge in the front. The grill has got a different color. The headlights have that little graphic that makes them look kind of three-dimensional there. So there's definitely a lot of quality and attention to detail. The interiors, they never just skimp out on the interiors. The interiors are properly kind of designed. So back end, we've got the Cadillac badge. We've got something on the license plate. The tail lights, multicolored, that same effect to make them look have a little bit of depth to them. So the wheels have the little details, the little tread kind of ridges on the edge. I like that. So other than these cars not being fast on the track, they're great looking cars. And if I was just in the habit of collecting cars without considering wanting them to be fast, then hey, Matchbox has me covered. But unfortunately, ever since I first got Hot Wheels cars and I got that Stow and Go Raceway, I only cared about, is it the fastest car? And Hot Wheels, started because the people who started it, they wanted to make cars that actually ran straight and were faster, and then were cooler than the cars that existed at the time. And they definitely achieved that. What is this? CT5 or CTS? CT5V. Let's see. And the year this is manufactured is 2021. So I think all these cars have been 2021. I guess that lets you know which part of the storage bin I'm into at this moment. So let's go ahead and get the still picture, and then we're going to take a look at the two cars we have from Christopher and Roughshod. And if anyone happens to be watching and they want to get in a pick, you better do it quickly. Get to AtTheTrack.live and select choose a car. And once you've selected choose your car, then you will be taken to our page that has all of our cars listed. Quickly find the car that you want and drop that number that's associated with the car. Drop it into the chat. I will pull the car and we will race and see if your car, your pick, can take out the Nissan Proto, the side draft, the Selina Kyle car, the Maserati, or the Cadillac. But you've got two other cars to contend with. And first up is Christopher's pick, which is the Captain Marvel car. And let's check the weight, because that's been the thing that's kind of concerned me about this car from the time that he picked it. It is a character car, and so it usually has more, they have more kind of premium materials and details. It is metal on plastic, but it's a big, wide car, and it's weighing in at 42.9 grams. So when we talked about that other car, the old school car, about how it was like 50 some odd grams, we said that when we get cars that are in the 40s, we're like, whoa, okay, that's a big that's a big car. Well, this is one right here. It is the Captain Marvel car. On the plus side, it is very wide, and so that usually means that these cars aren't going to bounce around the track, because there's just not a lot of room for them to do that. They are going to usually run in a straight line. So the thing that is going to be the big kind of question mark for this car is whether or not it is going to be slowed down toward the back end because of that weight. Otherwise, everything looks pretty good. Now, it does have this giant splitter right in the front, and it's not angled up, and so there are little spaces here where the air could still flow through, but the question is, will it end up trapping more air in this area and working to slow the car down, versus if this splitter were not here, air would hit the bumper and immediately flow over the top or beneath the car. It wouldn't really build up here. There wouldn't be anything to trap it, but we'll see. We'll see how that kind of plays out, and whether or not this car, being heavier, is going to be at a disadvantage against some of these other cars that we have racing today. All right, what else do we have? We have Roughshod's pick, which is the Piranha Racer. And that car is weighing in at 29.9 grams. Now, this one is really interesting because it's got a lot going on. So it's 29 grams, and that's, you know, it's a little light, but it's a smaller car. It's kind of compact. But what I think is interesting is this part here, and how essentially it's acting like a splitter, but it's pointing up in the air. The air, when we put this in the wind tunnel, the air hits here, and it immediately is going to shoot down underneath the car. And then we have some coming up over the top, but everything else about the car is pretty, it's a pretty solid aerodynamic design. The back end right here, these, whatever the fins are, the tail, is pretty much flat. That'll press nicely right up against the launching block. It's a compact car. It's very compact. The shape, especially when we look at the profile here, the air is going to hit here and just flow up over the top. And it did, if I remember correctly, it did kind of flow along the body of the car. But because it's so short, even when the air will detach from following along the lines of the body, usually that will create a pressure differential. It's not, I don't think it's going to be as much of a problem for this car. So the thing to watch out with cars in the 20s is whether or not they slow down towards the back end based on the amount of drag that is going to be present. So we are set up. We have our cars. We are just about ready to go. All we have to do now is restate our rules. and what we're going to be doing. If this is the first time that you've seen a All About Aerodynamics at the Track Live race, this is what you are about to see. You're going to see our 3-camera track view. The cars are going to start in the launcher at the top left, and I'm going to give a countdown, 3, 2, 1, race. I'm going to hit the switch. The cars are going to fire out of the launcher. They're going to go from top to bottom, pass out of the bottom of the screen on the left, show up at the top of the screen in the middle. They're going to go from top to bottom, pass out of the bottom of the screen in the middle, and show up at the top of the screen on the right. Our finish line cameras are going to go from top to bottom, cross the finish line, and the winning car will be indicated with a solid red light. A solid red light indicates the winning car. A flashing red light indicates the losing car. So solid red light, winning car, flashing red light, losing car. And each of our races is best 2 out of 3. So after each race, we will switch lanes. And when we switch lanes, then we will race the cars. And the first car to collect 2 wins will move on in the tournament. And that's how it goes. Now, if a car crashes and leaves the track, well, that car is disqualified. I'm sorry, it's not disqualified. If it crashes and leaves the track once, then we simply throw out the results of that race and we start up again. Just redo the race. If a car crashes twice consecutively, then it is disqualified. Because a car that crashes twice consecutively in exactly the same way, there's usually some problem with the combination of the car, the design, and the launcher that is not going to be resolved by just re-racing the car over and over. So, car crashes twice consecutively, it is done. That is it. So, there is that. Otherwise, we are good to go. So, we've got our cars, our contenders. We're going to see if Never Ending Super Stinger remains on top, or if this is going to be basically almost like the third change at the top we've had within the last month or so. Time to hit the track. So I will see you over there in 30 seconds. Okay, let me just double check our audio situation. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yep, we're good to go. All right, racing. We are going to start this one off. We're going to go with Christopher's Captain Marvel car up against that Matchbox Maserati, and it is just actually wait before we do that, we're gonna get this Rockin railer situation squared away. Remember, I cut the tabs off of the wheel, so we now just have one Rockin railer that has the tabs that make the engine shake back and forth, and then we have another Rockin railer that has no tabs. So we have the Rockin railer, and then we just have the railer with no rock. So let's go ahead and set these up. This is a fantasy funny car situation. So the Rockin railer, the one with the tabs and the engine that's going to be shaking back and forth, is in lane 2. The railer with no tabs and no engine shake is going to be in lane 1. So we got the Rockin railer in lane 2, the railer in lane 1. Race 1, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. And in that race, the railer beat the Rockin railer, and you could just see, you could hear the clicking probably, and the clicking was from the tabs and those tabs, it just slows the car down. In fact, the Rockin railer barely made it to the finish line. It stopped pretty much at the finish line. And the railer didn't have any tabs slowing down the rotation of the car, and it simply opened up a much bigger lead. So we're going to switch lanes, put the railer in lane 2, put the Rockin railer in lane 1. Race 2, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. And the cars started out similarly, but then the tabs slowed down the wheels, forward momentum on the Rockin railer, and the railer took it. So railer is going to be the version of the Rockin railer that remains in the fleet, and the Rockin railer is going to end up as a prize car. So there we go. That is the sort of special race that we had today. Now we're getting into our tournament races, and that is going to start off, like I said, with Christopher's Captain Marvel car versus the Maserati Matchbox, and we will see, can this Maserati Matchbox represent well for the Matchbox brand. It is lined up in lane 2, the Captain Marvel car, which is heavier. So this is going to be the issue. The Captain Marvel car is heavier, but it's a Hot Wheels car. The Maserati is lighter, but it's a Matchbox. So let's see what happens. Here we go. Captain Marvel lane 1, Maserati lane 2, race 1. Here we go. Three, two, one, race. The Maserati hung in there, kept it competitive, but it was not, the outcome was never in any doubt. And the Captain Marvel car took that race. We're going to switch lanes and see if it makes any difference whatsoever. If the Captain Marvel car can beat out send another Matchbox car to an early exit. I thought this Maserati was going to be the car. It's just, there's something about them. But it's not over yet, but it's got to win this race. Both of these cars are wide, so they're not going to bounce around the track, but we've got the Captain Marvel car in lane 2. We've got the Maserati in lane 1. Race 2, here we go. Three, two, one, race. Oh, check that out. The Maserati by a nose takes it, indicated by the solid red light. So the Maserati not quite done, still trying to represent for the Matchbox cars, pull out that race. Got that one. Can it get another one? That's the question. We are going to a third and final race. We're going to find out if the heavier Hot Wheels car is going to be able to beat out the lighter Matchbox car. Each car has taken a race, and we're going to find out. That last one was extremely close. I couldn't tell which car had won until I saw the lights. We're dropping Captain Marvel into lane 1. Get it pressed up against the launching block. Captain Marvel in lane 1. And the Maserati is in lane 2. This is it. Can this Maserati get it done for the Matchbox, or will Captain Marvel be moving on? Here we go. Captain Marvel lane 1, Maserati lane 2, race 3. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. And the Maserati just couldn't keep up. So Captain Marvel moves on, and we will see if Captain Marvel, being a heavier car, once it starts to race against the other Hot Wheels cars, will that weight become an issue, or will it not matter because the car's aerodynamic profile reduces the amount of drag and helps it keep up its speed? I don't know. We're going to find out. All right, next up, let's go with, we'll go with Selina Kyle against the side draft. Okay. The side draft. We have one in the fleet, but the wheels are different. And if wheels are different, and I like the color combination, then a car can, I can tolerate a duplicate in that scenario. The Selina Kyle car, really like it, but I'm worried about what kind of launch it's going to get because it's only got that one point of contact with the tailpipe. But it was, if I remember, I think it was pretty light. So we're going to see. Selina Kyle, lane 1, side draft, lane 2, race 1. Here we go. Three, 2, 1, race. Woo. Selina Kyle blasts into the barrier, crashes. So we will reset these cars and get them ready to go again. We do see crashes. That is part of the game. Whether you're racing real cars or racing Hot Wheels cars, you're gonna have crashes, but in our case, no harm, no foul, and we just simply line these cars up again. There's only been a few cars that have crashed where the car has actually shown some damage, and I remember it's the little K truck. Some paint got chipped off of that thing, and maybe one or two others. Aside from the cars where the axles get bent, that's the worst case scenario. All right, we've got these cars lined up again for race 1. Selina Kyle, lane 1, side draft, lane 2. Here we go. Three, 2, 1, race. Selina Kyle, no joke. Now, the side draft went up on 2 wheels coming out of the launching block and out of the launcher. And that's a problem because it went up on 2 wheels. And like I said, by the time it corrected itself, got back on all fours, and headed down the track, it was already too late. The race was already over, and the gap couldn't make up that difference. So it's going to have to do it twice in a row, and we will see how that all works out. We have the Selina Kyle car in lane 2. It had that crash and then came right back and won easily. And now we've got the side draft in lane 1. So side draft lane 1, Selina Kyle lane 2, race 2. Here we go. Three, 2, 1, race. So the Selina Kyle car got out to a lead, kept the lead, held the lead for the entire race. But towards that back third of the track, that side draft was closing the gap, which suggests that the Selina Kyle car was slowing down. Now, if it was one of the lighter cars, then it makes sense because we see that with drag impacting. That's how drag impacts these lighter cars. You usually notice it towards the back end of the track. But nevertheless, Selina Kyle moves on. So we've got our 2 character cars moving right on up. And let's go now with, we're going to go roughshods Piranha Terror. I think that's what this was. Yeah, the Piranha Terror against the Nissan Proto. The Nissan Z Proto. Definitely curious to see how this Piranha Terror car is going to perform on the track. Dropping it into lane 2. Get these wheels lined up. And the Nissan Proto, which is very light, in lane 1. Now, I would expect that the Nissan Proto would... I would expect that towards the back end of the track it's going to be slowing down. But the question is, with it being so light, is it already going to have such a big lead that even when it slows down, the Piranha Terror won't be able to catch up? Or will the Piranha Terror get out to the lead, keep the lead, and win the race? We're about to find out. Here we go. Piranha Terror lane 2, Nissan Proto Z in lane 1. 3, 2, 1, race. And only one car went down the track because it turns out that fin on the top of the Piranha Terror means that it needs a taller acrylic cover. And since we have a car that needs a taller acrylic cover and one that does not, we are going to switch to our specialized custom-made acrylic cover that I designed just for circumstances and situations like this, where we have a taller car and a not so tall car. Now the thing with the Piranha Terror though is it needs the taller cover, yes, but just barely. So now it's hard to kind of explain. I'll explain once we get back into the garage, but some of the cars are very tall, and when we use the taller acrylic cover, it evens the playing field. But for cars like the Piranha Terror that are just barely a little too tall, I don't know that this doesn't create a disadvantage, but we're going to find out. Piranha Terror is in lane 2. Nissan Z Proto is in lane 1. Here we go. Three, two, one, race. So interesting. It was the Piranha Terror that was out to a lead and then started to slow down. So that is that's something interesting to keep an eye on, especially in this next race. It had the lead about halfway through, and then it just started slowing down. It would have looked, it always looks like the other car is speeding up, but that's just an optical illusion, because we know what's really happening is one car is slowing down at a greater rate than the other car. But that's just one race. You got to take two if you want to move up. And the little guy, we got to see if this Piranha Terror can get it done. It is a light car, which this Nissan Proto is also light, but being light and being small, drag tends to come into play. So all right, we've got the Piranha Terror in lane 1. We've got the Nissan Z Proto in lane 2. Race 2, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. And that time, the Nissan Proto just opened up the lead and kept it open. Foot on the gas and just took the Piranha Terror down. The Piranha Terror, I think it needs, it's hard to say what it needs exactly, but I think being light is, it's just not beneficial on the track in the way that You would kind of think it would be, but because drag just eats these cars alive if they're too light. And I think that may have been part of the case for the Piranha Terror, but it is tough to see. Christopher, is my car? No, the Captain Marvel car is fine. It's perfectly wide enough. That one and the Maserati were they're as wide as you can get and still be able to race on the track, but it's good because then the cars aren't able to move and bounce around the track. It's not going to happen. So they're always going to fire off straight. All right, we've got another Matchbox car here, this Cadillac, and what you can see is, well, you'll see it's narrow, and so it's not too narrow, but it can still turn in a way that, let's say, the Captain Marvel car. Let me get closer to the camera. So with the Captain Marvel car, we can see that it's so wide it can't turn like either way. It's going to be straight on the track because it's exactly the width of the track. Whereas this car, it's not much. We've seen cars that can have more play. For example, like the Rockin Railer a little bit. But narrow cars can do this. They can scrape up against the side and bounce around. And that is not what you want to happen. So we are going to race these cars since we've already got them here set up. We're going to see if this Cadillac be the one? Can this Cadillac be the Matchbox car? My guess would be no, but this is why we have to race the cars, because we just don't know. We don't know until these cars get out there and actually race, and we will find out. But if I had to expect a Matchbox car to do well, it would have been the Maserati and not necessarily this Cadillac. But I've been surprised on the track before, and this might be another time. So we've got the Captain Marvel car in lane 1. We've got the Cadillac CT5 in lane 2. Race 1, here we go. Three, two, one, race. And those Matchbox wheels make the car sound cool, but Captain Marvel didn't care about sounding cool, any of that. It just blew the doors off of the Cadillac. And so Captain Marvel, apparently, I just kind of picked up on this. I've had Captain Marvel race against both of the Matchbox cars. So it's starting to look a little personal. But we'll see, because if Captain Marvel can pull off this race, there are no more Matchbox cars in the running. It will be Hot Wheels cars only. So let's go ahead and switch lanes. Dropping Captain Marvel into lane 2. And the Cadillac in lane 1. Race 2, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. A little closer. Not so close that it mattered, but a little closer. The Cadillac is yet another Matchbox car to fall by the wayside, and it is not going to be the Matchbox car that pulls it off. So, take that car. We will drop it down into the garage. And let's see. We are down to 3 cars. We're going to see which of these next 2 is going to take on Captain Marvel in the finals. We have the Selina Kyle car, and we have the Nissan Z Proto. So let's go see what we've got. All right, putting Selina Kyle in lane 1 with that tailpipe That is the only point of contact with the launching block. Not a great thing to have, but it's what it is. All right, and we've got the Nissan in lane 2, Selina Kyle lane 1, semifinals. Here we go. Race 1. 3, 2, 1, race. Nissan Proto opening up and pulling away at the end. It was pretty close right up until about the midway point, and then it was just kind of dominance by the Nissan Proto as it pulled away, meaning that the other cars, the Selina Kyle car, started to slow down noticeably. So we are now going to race number 2. The Selina Kyle car is in lane 2. The Nissan Proto is in lane 1. And the winner is going to face Captain Marvel in the finals. Race 2, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Wow. So the Selina Kyle car had a small lead right up until about the halfway point, and then it started slowing down. The Nissan Proto finished it off, and that was it. So we now have our finals matchup all set. It is going to be the Captain Marvel car against the Nissan Z Proto, and this is going to be Captain Marvel's first race against a Hot Wheels car. So we're going to see how that plays out and whether or not we are going to have Captain Marvel or this Nissan Proto taking on the Super Stinger. We're going to line Captain Marvel up in lane 1. I think that car being wide is definitely a good look, because it reduces the chance for bouncing around and that additional friction. And if it can stay straight, it's got a shot. All right, we've got Captain Marvel in lane 1, Nissan Z Proto in lane 2. This is the finals, race 1. Here we go. Three, two, one, race. Oh, classic sort of error. Captain Marvel, about in the first third of the race, went up on 2 wheels, went up kind of on the barrier, and then came back down on the track. The problem is, like we keep saying, you can't have those types of issues in a race where you're racing a fast car that stays on the track, because in the time that it took Captain Marvel to correct itself on the track, the Nissan Proto Z was just opening up that lead. So it has to be a situation where this Captain Marvel car stays on the track. And like I always say, it's better if you're going to crash or go up on 2 wheels, you're better off crashing and getting a restart than staying on the car. I mean, it's cool when the cars can correct themselves after a bad launch, but it's not helpful to try and win a race that way. All right, so we've switched lanes. We've got Captain Marvel in lane 2. We have the Nissan Z Proto in lane 1. Race 2, here we go. Three, 2, 1, race. Oh, Captain Marvel had the lead. Had the lead for 2/3 of the race, and then that weight came into play, and it started slowing down, and here came the Nissan Proto. It wasn't the best performance I've ever seen, but you could just clearly see that the weight did in the Captain Marvel car. It slowed down at the end, and right around this area, that last section, the Nissan Proto pulled it out, and the Nissan Proto, Z Proto, is our tournament winner and is going to face off against Never Ending's Super Stinger for the fastest in fleet title. Are we going to have yet another change at the top, or is this going to be just another race in a long run for the Super Stinger? We are going to find out. Super Stinger. All right. Super Stinger's in lane 2. The Nissan Proto is in lane 1. Fastest in fleet, race 1. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Super Stinger held on. The Nissan Proto was trying to close at the end, but that is not what happened. I mean, it couldn't close the distance enough for it to actually make a difference. So we are going to switch lanes. We're going to put the Proto Z in lane number 2. We're going to put the Super Stinger in lane 1. Race 2, fastest in fleet. Here we go. Three, two, one, race. Super Stinger takes it, remains fastest in fleet car. The Nissan Z Proto was still trying to close that gap towards the end, which is pretty interesting, but which means that the Super Stinger was slowing down, but it didn't slow down enough for it to matter. It had already opened up a lead, had a high speed, and went on through. So we are going, that Captain Marvel car weighed about 40 something grams. We'll check it when we go back in. The Blitzspeeder, no, the Blitzspeeder is just another car. It's a former champion, like the Gazella, like the Batman Arkham Asylum Batmobile. So if someone wants to pick it for the next race, then they're welcome to it. But the Gazella, I'm sorry, the Blitzspeeder, right now it's just a former champ, and if it wants to get a shot to get back on the track, it's got to earn it. So let me gather up these cars, head back in the garage. We'll check the weight of the Captain Marvel car and look at the winners and the results and what's coming next. So the Super Stinger remains our fastest in fleet car. It just, it had enough speed to take out the Nissan Proto, but that Proto was pulling, it was closing the gap, but not enough. And I think if we take a look at let's check the weight. On that Nissan Proto, it weighed in at 29.7 grams. So that probably accounts for why it was able to kind of close that gap. The Super Stinger weighs in at 30.7. So even though it kind of looks like it should weigh more, a lot more, it doesn't. And the Captain Marvel car was heavy. That weighed in at 42.9 grams. So being a premium car and having more metal, more metal, it's kind of a bigger car. It definitely had more weight to it, and that did not work in its favor. But with this one, something I pointed out on Wednesday, that this car is, first thing is, a teardrop is the most aerodynamic shape there is. And if you look at this car, you can kind of see the teardrop aspect to it, and that it's kind of smaller here, raises up here, and then comes down. And here, the bottom isn't flat. The bottom actually angles up. So you have the bottom of the car angling up to this kind of point here. It kind of comes up over the top, comes back down. So there is a bit of a teardrop shape to this. But then we get to this back engine part. So, could that be one of the reasons why this car performs the way that it does? I would think that would have to be something that we take into consideration. But this is our champ. And on Wind Tunnel Wednesdays, where we put cars in our 1/64 scale wind tunnel, then we will take a look at the Super Stinger and see what its aerodynamic profile is looking like. And we will also check out a couple of cars. So let's see, Christopher, he's going to want to check out car number 15 and car number 35. And Roughshod is looking at car number 449. Let's go ahead and see what those cars are. So, Christopher, we've got car 15, so that's pretty clear up. Okay, the Monoposto, solid pick. I want to say this one has raced, but I don't remember if it was on AtTheTrack.live or if a student picked it. We got the Monoposto as a possible candidate, and then also number 35, which is the AtTheTrack. I don't know if we've had the blue AtTheTrack race. I think we've had the red AtTheTrack race. So another fantasy car, interesting design. Kind of, this may be it's almost racery, but good. Looks like a solid pick. I'll be interested to see if that silver on the top is plastic or if it's metal. On the bottom, that's clearly metal. So we'll see. And then let me put that in AtTheTrack. And the other one was the Monoposto. And then let's see. Roughshod is taking 449. Let's see what 449 is looking like. 449. Now that we've got a new champ, it's like everything's been reset. Oh! The Velociracer. We talked about this one on Wind Tunnel Wednesday. Yeah, this is one that I'm definitely going to be interested to see race if you decide to go with it. The Velociracer. We put it in the wind tunnel. It's one of those cars that it's hard to tell from the wind tunnel results what we're going to get, but this one is extremely unique and could be the car. Now, what kind of launch it gets, who knows? It's going to depend on if that tail is sticking out beyond those engines or not, but yeah, this is going to be interesting. The Velociracer. So we're going to throw that in the wind tunnel, and this may be the car. Oh no, Roughshod's he's locked this in for next Saturday. So he's already going with this. We'll put it in the wind tunnel again just to take a look at it. But this is the car. I'm very interested to see this car out on the track, see what it can do. So we have that. We have Christopher will be making his pick, and every Wednesday, Wind Tunnel Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific. Yeah, 4 p.m. Pacific. We're up here putting cars into the wind tunnel. You can go to AtTheTrack.live, find the cars you want to put in the wind tunnel, take a look at those, get a sense of the aerodynamic profile, and then pick a car, and it will race next Saturday and try to take out the Velociracer and ultimately the Super Stinger. Can the car that you pick do it? Maybe. We've got 966 cars to choose from. So one of those is likely to be faster than our champ, but we got to find it. So that is that. Good day of races. Got some new cars introduced. Had a little Rockin' Railer challenge. Figured out that those tabs on the wheels, as suspected, do slow the cars down, do make a difference. It is an issue, but unfortunately, some of the other cars that have the tabs on the wheels, like the Santa sled thing, I think if I wanted to go back and buy one now, it'd probably cost me more than I'm willing to spend just so I can cut the tabs off the wheels. So the Rockin' Railer benefited from being a more recent car with the tabs, and if I come across any more, I now know that cutting off the tabs makes the car faster. So just a little science lesson, little experiment. Had fun, raced the cars. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, you have the green AtTheTrack. Nice. Okay, so for all about aerodynamics, for AtTheTrack Live, for Wind Tunnel Wednesdays, I am Coach James, and until next time, I will see you at the races.